In the past couple months, I've been on a projector kick. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I love movie theaters so much and I'm trying to get a taste of that at home. Also, growing up, projectors were like always insanely expensive and just didn't have a lot of great features to them. And so now that they're way more affordable and actually trying to innovate, it's an interesting time to look at projectors, I think. And while normally I'm looking at big, bulky 4K projectors, today we're looking at something just a little bit different. So this is the Zip projector, and as you can see, it's a trifold folding design. Full disclosure, Arzen did send the Zip projector out to me, and this is a near final prototype build, but I have been keeping that in mind during my testing, so it's pretty obvious that the big calling card here is portability. This thing stands 1 inch tall, it weighs pretty much the same as your phone. Now even in this tiny little body, it supports a 5,000 milliamp battery. It's going to give you about 1.5 hours of playtime just running on the battery, but of course it has a USB-C port on the side, so you can plug it in, charge it, and use it indefinitely with a battery brick or plugged into the wall. In my opinion, this feels like a very well designed machine, and I was mostly curious before I got it how the hinges would feel, because I'm quite a stickler when it comes to devices like this, especially because how the hinges feel and how solid they are while also still being relatively easy to manipulate greatly affects its use case, because you're kind of adjusting the angle of the projector depending on what wall or screen you're shooting it on. And so if the hinges are too loose, then, over the course of watching a movie, it may start to sag and slowly drip down, which obviously would be horrible. Or if they're way too stiff or clunky feeling, then it would be too hard to close or too much of a pain or potentially break the hinges. The hinges feel great, and they're definitely more on the side of stiffness, which in my personal opinion is the better side to sway toward. Now, in terms of ports, buttons, and everything on this, you have the USB-C port, as mentioned, you have a volume rocker and a power button. We have capacitive touch buttons to navigate around the device. On this side right here, we actually have this little switch button, which allows you to either turn on full brightness, which is going to boost it up to 100 ANSI lumens, or one that I don't know the actual spec. I don't know if it cuts it in half or like 75% brightness, but to essentially get the best battery life you can knock it down if you're in like a really dark room. But personally for me, I end up just leaving it on full brightness because, let's be honest, 100 ANSI lumens isn't the brightest thing out there. You're still going to want to be in a pretty dark environment for this to look the best it can. If you have a little bit of ambient light, it still works great, but this definitely isn't going to be a broad daylight, sun piercing through the windows, and you still shine this on a big wall. You have a sensor up front that's going to get your autofocus and auto keystoning, which I find works really well. Now, putting this thing at crazy angles, the auto keystone will skew slightly, but you can jump into the menus and do a manual keystone if you prefer. Of course, we have the actual projector lens right here, which is going to throw out a 720p native resolution. Now, while I would love to at least have seen a 1080p signal come out of this, I will say I was pretty surprised as to how good the 720 HD signal was, especially for the screen size that you're casting this on. This is not some like 300-inch super wall projector. Again, this is all about portability. It's about taking this thing wherever you want, whether you're using it in a business environment to do casual presentations on the go. If you want to give it to your kids and let them have a little projector inside of one of their couch forts. The demographic that this projector is aimed at is not the, highest resolution film snobs, but sometimes it's okay to look at other use cases. For me, one of my favorite things besides the portability is just the easy setup and use. So with this, you can AirPlay or cast from your iPhone, iPad, computer, whatever. On my phone, I literally just go to mirroring, turn it on, the Zip projector immediately shows up. You don't need to set up any Wi-Fi or hotspots around. Now, it does have built-in speakers, and it's definitely a nice to have feature if you're in a pinch and you just want to get some audio out of it. But certainly if you're looking for something that's going to sound really good, especially on the louder volume levels, they've included Bluetooth within this. So if you have literally any Bluetooth speakers around, you can connect to those and get incredible audio to go along with your visuals. Now you have some accessories you can pick up with the projector as well. One is this nice little case that form fits the projector great, and the charging cable on the bottom. It just makes a nice, easy, convenient way to keep the projector safe and still travel around with it. The other one is this magnetic electric suction cup mount. I've seen these on social media everywhere, but they're just so interesting to me. But let's say you wanted to project what's on like your iPad, power it on, and then just put it on any flat surface and you'll hear the little suction cup motor. So now I could take the projector, literally aim it at like 90 degrees there, magnetizes to the bottom, and now you can be like giving a presentation and just projecting what's on the iPad. Like, how cool is that? And what's really interesting is because this projector actually has auto rotation, you could actually turn it 90 degrees and have your native TikTok, Instagram Reels, or vertical content showing up on the wall without having to crop in or have the black bars on the sides. And the final accessory that I think is incredibly genius is this little guy right here. This is a HDMI dongle, and this allows you to use a device that you typically would with a projector, whether it's a game console, a TV, Apple TV, Roku. Obviously on my Asus ProArt, I don't have, AirPlay or anything, so I can take the dongle, turn it on, plug it into the HDMI port, and then it's instantly going to connect to the projector and project whatever this is plugged into. This is an optional accessory, but right now the Kickstarter just went live and you can get all these things bundled for like 30 or 40% off, something crazy. Obviously, link will be in the description if you're interested in learning more. So in my opinion, this is a very unique and different approach to a projector. I've never really seen a portable projector before, and I'm excited to see if they continue to develop this even more. Obviously, I would love to see higher resolutions, longer battery life, stuff like that. But as always, I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.